So recently, Anthropic pulled the ability for you to use your Max subscription with OpenClaw. And like everybody, I've been trying to figure out what's the best way to still use OpenClaw without paying through the nose for API credits. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to ask Claude how to do it. Hey, so I have an OpenClaw instance that I'm using for day-to-day business operations. Originally, I was using my Claude Max subscription to power this, but recently that ability was taken away. I'm currently using API costs through Anthropic, and I switched from Opus to Sonnet 4.6, but the cost is still prohibitive for me to continue working like this. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best way for me to get the same level of functionality, but be able to use my Claude Max subscription. So can I do this through Claude Code? Do I need to use ClaudeWork? Do I need to use managed agents? Although I believe managed agents now use API costs as well. So I need you to do some research on this and just see if you can help me figure out how to replicate the level of functionality that I can get from OpenClaw, but using my Claude Max subscription. So we're going to fire that off and see what it says. I'm wondering if I should be using ClaudeWork. I'm just going to do this right now in chat. All right, so it gave me a breakdown here. I don't honestly love the answer. It doesn't sound like there's a clear path to getting the same level of functionality that I was getting. So they basically explain why it happened. I understand why. So Claude CodeWork, I agree, is similar in that it can handle multi-step tasks. But here is the problem. So it says right here, it's included, can handle multi-step tasks like organizing files, generating documents, synthesizing research, and coordinating parallel work streams. That's awesome. But it says right here, CodeWork is reactive. You give it a task, it runs, not proactive like OpenClaw. It does say CodeWork supports scheduled tasks, so I'm curious about that. How that is, that just using cron jobs? Is that similar to OpenClaw? Because that seems like that could be a path. It says to use Claude Code for coding tasks, but again, I'm looking for that kind of always on running things in the background level of functionality. And then this approach here says hybrid approach. You're essentially switching models inside of OpenClaw based on which type of task you're running. That's fine. I could do that. So you could use something like OpenRouter, for example, and have different agents be configured with different models and try and balance complexity versus cost. Really, I was trying to keep it under my Max subscription because I'm already paying $200 a month for that. I'd like to not increase that. Yeah, it says managed AI agents are not what I'm looking for this. Recommendation for my situation: first, move your interactive on-demand workflows into CodeWork. Things like document generation, research, data analysis, email drafting, and file organization. For the always-on proactive agent stuff that made OpenClaw special, use either CodeWork's scheduled tasks feature for what it can cover, or keep OpenClaw running with a cheaper model. All right. So in short, it doesn't look like there's a great way for me to work around this. I was kind of hoping I'd find something a little bit more encouraging, but is what it is, I suppose. So that was a quick investigation. Thanks for checking it out.